What is good? So here is the divisional round results. As you remember from the last video, this travesty. But hey, there's always a winner and a loser in sports. So there's that. Showing the rest of these stats. I will say this is going to be part one of a two-part offseason video. This offseason had a good amount of turnover and a good amount of stuff that we didn't do as much on this franchise that we did. So that's why I broke it up into two videos. I didn't want to do a big video. So the Jaguars and the Chargers might finally have a chance, to not worry about us. And then they lose to the Jaguars. And the Saints beat the Packers. So it'll be the Saints and the Jaguars in the Super Bowl. And so I only did this just to show the field and where they're playing. It looks like they're playing at Oakland in the Bay Area. So, yeah, I didn't simulate the game. I just went and opened it just so y'all can see. And I think I'm going to do this from here on out. I'll do something like this, and then I'll actually go and simulate the game just so y'all can see where they're playing at, the teams and whatnot. So the Jaguars whipped the Saints' butts, and the Jacksonville Jaguars are getting their first Super Bowl. Chad Pennington brings one to Jacksonville. Chad Pennington and MJD, it looks like. And I guess Drew Brees was injured. He didn't play because there's some other guy playing quarterback. Welty and then Black, so two quarterbacks. They had an issue. MJD, a $194 and a touchdown. Probably was MVP, him or Chad Pennington, one of the two. I don't know. So there you go, Jacksonville. You got yourself a ring, at least in this alternate reality series. So here are the yearly awards. We didn't show this. Reggie Bush won MVP. Willie Parker was the runner-up. Steven Jackson, Michael Vick, and Donovan McNabb were runners-up as well. Michael Vick was the MVP. The Ravens were undefeated at one point until he got hurt. So the Ravens are a pretty nice team. Unfortunately, Michael Vick went down, and that tanked his MVP stock. Dudley, Offensive Rookie of the Year. Barry, Defensive Rookie of the Year. And his runner-up was on the Titans, too. So the Titans got some ballers in the draft, this past draft, defensively at rookie. And then this guy was pick 5. He's a running back for the Chiefs, Dudley. Barry, second-round pick, so that's cool. Drew Brees was the best QB, and he still had another week out. Reggie Bush, Marcus Colston. So the Saints swept with like all of the best positions. And they were a tough outing, I will say that. Adrian Wilson, he edges out Sean Taylor for best DB. White, QB for the Bengals. CPU generated. He's in the Pro Bowl and the best QB in the AFC. So some of these CPU guys are starting to turn into superstars on here. Love to see it. And this is about that point when that usually happens. Usually is season 5 and 6 when that starts to happen. So I'm going to show the rest of these Pro Bowlers. I'll jump back in when we get to the offseason. So in the Washington D.C. market and playing in Landover, we've made $48.95 million this year. So looks like some coaches have retired. They're too old. They want to retire. Lane Kiffin retired. At least I could leave him my dignity. And he retired because they went 0-16. Because we all know Lane Kiffin's young. He should go back to college football. That's where he should go. So looking at some of these emails, Liddell Betts wants a new deal. We'll give him a 1 year if he really wants it. I mean, he's starting to age, though. Paul Posluszny, Josh Wilson. I mean, these are guys that we want to keep around. The offseason, we need to take care of some business. Okay, whatever. Sure. They have a huge impact on our team when they reach icon status. Marty Schottenheimer is still going to be our coach. We got Jason Garrett as the special teams coordinator. So that'll be interesting. So we need an OC and a DC. Mike Tomlin only thinks he's a head coach. Chin strap beard Mike Tomlin in that picture. Now that boy bald. Zach Thomas. He wants to jump into the coaching reins. He was a really good middle linebacker in his day. We'll make him a DC right off the rip. Mike McCarthy, he's going to become our offensive coordinator. So Marty Schottenheimer, head coach, Mike McCarthy, OC, Zach Thomas, DC, Jason Garrett, special teams coordinator. That is our coaching staff. Retired players, man. Tony G is calling it a career, and he still was playing at a high level. He could have kept playing if he wanted, I think. So here's our guys. London Fletcher, 37 years old. He's hanging it up. Hey, man, we loved having you, man. Liddell Betts, O'Keefer, Kerry Campbell. That's my guy, Kerry Campbell. Was a super nice dude. I actually met him at my parents' house years back. He was over, I guess, looking at this paint job that this painter had did. So that's how I met Kerry Campbell. We're losing Liddell Betts, Edgerrin James retiring. Looks like Thomas Jones. A lot of these guys are getting up there, and they got slow, man. These running backs got slow. Look at their speeds. I mean, my goodness. Running like fullbacks towards the end of their career. But, I mean, I guess that's the life of the running back, that mileage. So, Holt, Burris, Desmond Clark, Tony G, Kinney. So, losing a lot of guys that were originally in this game. So, it'll be interesting. I wonder how long it takes for a team to have entirely CPU-generated players. I want to see how long that takes. I mean, if we even play that long, you know. Simeon Rice is calling it a career. Pat Williams, 38 years old, calling it a career. Jalen Rieger's dad, Monte Rieger, calling it a career. Haggins, Porter, Roosevelt Colvin, Tommy Pauly, Niall Diggs, James Harrison calling it a career. Donnie Jones. We already know Kerry Campbell. Anybody else notable? James Ferrier calling it a career. Ray Lewis calling it a career. Mike Peterson calling it a career. So, a lot of big names leaving the building. Chris McAllister calling it a career. Anthony Henry. Antoine Winfield Sr. Deltha O'Neal. David Macklin calling it a career. He started this series with us. He was on the Skins at the start of the series. Dwight Smith, Lamont Thompson. Sean Williams. Jeff Wilkins calling it a career. Tavares Tillman calling it a career. So, a lot of names. A lot of guys. So, we have a lot of free agents. So, we're sitting with $50.7 million worth of cap room. But we're going to bring a lot of these guys back. I want to try to keep the team together. We got a championship window. Pairs we're going to release off the rip with the managed roster. This guy, I mean, we signed him as kind of like a different type of fullback in case UTEC didn't work out. That was insurance, I believe, unless UTEC was banged up. I can't remember, whatever. So we got a lot of guys. Schmidt will probably let walk too. And I was looking at maybe restructuring Portis's deal. And that's probably what we're going to do right there. So we restructured Portis's deal. We originally given him 4 years. He's starting to regress. So we're going to restructure it to 1 year, and then he'll have 1 year until we decide we don't want him anymore. Or it's in the better interest he goes somewhere else to play. Posluszny out of Penn State. I mean, we may need him. I don't know how long we're going to have Marcus Washington and Rocky McIntosh, so we might need him. Thomas will keep around. He's still playing at a high level. Goldberg, we could keep. We'll see. Chris Samuels, we'll keep him. He was a top pick in the 2000 draft, I think, number 2 or number 3. It was when they had 2 picks because they had the Saints pick as well. And we got Chris Samuels and LeVar Arrington in that same draft. Josh Wilson, he'll stay around. So we end up getting it down to all these guys. We're going to bring back Andre Carter. He's getting up there, but he's been solid for us at left end. And then we'll bring back Goldberg. So the only guy that's really walking in this point in time, we already had gotten rid of a couple guys, is Schmidt. So we're going to make Posluszny a middle linebacker, which eventually happened. And he's only at 73 overall. I'm surprised. But he'll sit behind Lamar Marshall. We're going to make a trade. I'm sorry, Ashley Lilly. We're sending him to the Raiders with a 7.